Welcome, I'm Heather. Thanks so much for joining us tonight for this bedtime yoga series. A nice way to unwind and release any stress and tension that's been building up throughout the day and get you ready for a good night's sleep. We're going to start briefly in a seated position and we'll do a few warm-ups for all the joints. So we're going to start with the head and neck and just a gentle movement from side to side. You can start to move with your breath as you inhale one way and as you exhale the other way. And this time as you inhale, let's roll the head to one side and let's lift the chin up to look over that side. And then from there, just tuck that chin down towards that shoulder. And bring the chin back to center. Slowly roll over to the other side, looking to the other side. And then drop the chin down towards that side of your chest. Come back to center with your roll. This time, inhale, lift up. And exhale, bringing your chin down. And we're going to continue to flow here for a few breaths. So you might accentuate the movement, bring it down into your upper back. As you exhale, chin comes down around the shoulders. Inhale, open the chest as you lift the chin. And do that a few more times, helping to loosen up through the upper back especially. Okay, we'll come back to center. We'll lift the shoulders up towards the ears, and with an exhalation, release. Breathe out through your mouth a few times. We'll do that 2 more times. Okay, helping to release any stress or tension that's building up here in your upper back. And let's now roll the shoulders out a few times. We're going to slowly move around. Inhale up, exhale down. And one more rotation in this direction. And then let's reverse those circles. Inhale up and exhale down in front. All right, just for a little bit more of a movement in the arms and the shoulders here. You're going to put the hands on the shoulders and start to make circles here with your elbows. And then we'll move in the opposite direction. We'll bring the arms up about shoulder height and just a slow movement side to side. Keep your head in line with the center of your torso. If it feels good, you can move however quickly or slowly you'd like to move here. Sometimes it feels good if you don't get dizzy to move a little bit more quickly, helping to loosen up the muscles of your back. With the flowing movement, like we're moving into a twist. Okay, we'll shake that out, shake out through the arms and the hands. We're going to rotate through the wrists. Opposite direction. And then go ahead and stretch your wrists a little more actively. We can press on those fingers, palm facing out. A few breaths here. And we'll reverse. And then we'll release. And if you'd like, you can start to come into a side bend. So let's lift that right arm straight up and exhale over. Pausing here for a breath or two. And as you inhale, come up. And as you exhale, come down. We'll lift up on the other side, reaching that arm. And on the exhale, come over. Holding for a couple more breaths. And we'll come back to center and exhale to release. Okay. And before we switch our posture, we're going to come into a twist. We'll sit up nice and tall for this one. Bring your right hand across to your left knee. If it helps, sit on a little prop just to help keep your hips open and your pelvis aligned. And we're breathing here. And come back to center. Release the back. And we'll come to the other side. Again, you want to sit up nice and tall. Breathing in and out. Feeling your upper body spiral. And feeling the ribs twist and open. One more breath here. And then as you exhale, release. We are going to release those legs. So I'm just going to shake out through the feet a little bit or rock through the feet and just rock and move your legs right from your hip joints here. So a nice movement right for all the way up to your hips. And then start to rotate your ankles. Opposite direction. Point and flex your feet. And then if I'm just having my hands behind, feet on the floor. Let's move the legs slowly from side to side like windshield wipers to loosen up the hips and also lower back a little bit more. Good. And then we'll come back to center. From here, let's just move both feet over to one side and we're going to transition onto all fours. You can start with your knees a little wider apart and maybe even a little bit further back. You can walk your hands forward too. Start to rotate around through your hips. A really nice way to help open up through your hips and your lower back. Keep breathing here. We'll go in the opposite direction. We might start to widen out a little bit with those circles, starting to bring the hips closer down towards the feet. You can rest here in the child's pose for a few breaths. From child's pose, then breathing in, coming back to center in the table and arching your back, lifting your belly. On your inhale, slowly look forward and exhale, belly in. Continue to flow here for a few more breaths. And one more time. This time, come back to center. We're going to reach out through the left arm, slide that arm over to the right, palm facing up, come down onto that shoulder, onto that side of your head. Pausing here for a few breaths. Okay, one more. Next time you inhale, start to plant through that right hand, come back to center. Arching through your back, lift your belly. Inhale, return to table. Bringing your right arm out to the side, and then we're going to slide it over to the left, palm facing up, come down onto your shoulder. Stay here for a few breaths. And one more. And plant into your left hand. Slowly bring your arms more forward than our table position so that you can start to reach and extend through your arms and your back in the extended puppy pose. Stay here for 2 more breaths. And as you inhale, come forward, slide your hands a little bit closer in towards your shoulders, maybe not quite as close as they are in table. We're going to curl the toes under. We're going to make a transition. So I'm going to lift off the knees into downward facing dog. Just walk those legs out from side to side. So bend one knee, send the other heel down. Feel that nice movement, nice stretch in your legs. We're going to slowly then walk the feet towards the hands slide in towards the feet, coming into a forward bend. Okay, you can bend your knees as generously as you'd like. Staying here for 2 more breaths. And when you're ready to come up on your next inhale, plant your feet, bend your knees, slowly roll up, coming right up to your mountain pose. And we'll stay here just for a few breaths. We can turn our palms to face forward. And on your inhale, reach through your arms. And on your exhale, release. Release with a sigh. Good. One more breath like that. Okay. This time we're going to flow through a few times more. This is now more similar to a Qigong exercise. So we're going to do the same movement on the inhale. But on the exhale, we're actually going to bring the hands down. The fingertips are together. Bend your knees like you're trying to push down towards the earth. And on the inhale, rise back up. And on the exhale, you're pushing your hands down towards the earth. The knees are bent. And then you're starting to rise up again, reaching through your arms. We'll do this about 2 or 3 more times. This is one of the opening exercises for a Qigong practice. And then we'll do that 1 more time. Good. Inhale, just reach your arms straight up. And exhale your hands down in front. Okay, we'll do a bit of a balancing pose now, just to open up the front of the thigh and the hips. So if you want, come to the wall for support. So I'm going to show you, I'm just at the wall with my hand. If you need that, you can also, whatever is close to you, a chair. And we're going to see if we can bring the right foot up behind it. You can also use a belt around that foot. And with the goal here, we want to open and stretch the front of the quad. Pausing here for a few breaths. Okay, if you want to move a little deeper, you're welcome to. You can start to hinge a bit forward at the same time your foot's pulling back. Okay, if you feel freed enough, balanced enough to reach forward, feel free to come into the full expression. 1 more breath. And then slowly release. Come back to mountain. And we're going to position ourselves. If you'd like to, if you're beside a wall or some support, we're going to bring the left foot up now. So right hand might be against something. Pausing here for a few breaths. If you want to go deeper, you're welcome to. Okay. We'll just make it really nice and gentle. We're not trying, we don't want to overexert ourselves. Come back to center and slowly release your leg. Come back to your mountain. Might come into a bit of a chair stance and roll the knees and roll them in the opposite direction. Okay, stepping your feet wider apart. On your next breath in, reach your arms. On your next breath out, we're going to come forward and let the upper body hang down towards the floor. Okay, from here, we're going to walk the hands over to the left and transition your feet. You're going to pivot your feet so that you're coming into a bit of a lunge. Just for a moment, if you want, you can go ahead and drop that back knee. And then coming up onto your back foot again, pressing back, walking the hands to the center. Let's walk them all the way to the other side. Pivot your feet, bend your front knee. You can drop your back knee down. And come up onto your foot again. This time we'll walk back to center and we'll just allow the head to sink. To come out of this one, we're going to bring, before we come up, just walk your feet in slightly, plant your feet down, bend your knees, and let's lift up. And exhale to release. Okay, try reaching behind you, interlacing your hands together, and just pulling through your arms a little bit. This time when we come over, we'll come over halfway, reaching the arms up. And you can come back whenever you're ready. Okay, so try to keep your hands together. If that's tricky, you can always use a belt. Do what feels good, so don't have it feel like it's too much, and then release. All right. Good. So we're going to come down now to the floor. And you can just come down slowly into like a table, then bring your feet in front of you. Have anything you need for our ending. So I do recommend today, if you can have a bolster or a couple blocks beside you, that'd be great. If not, don't worry. But we'll come into the recline or the seated butterfly before we do reclined, opening the hips a little bit more. And when you're ready, coming over your legs. And if you have a bolster there handy, I like to do the supported version, supporting your head. Feels really nice. Has a really nice calming effect. And you can just soften and relax and come back to your breath. And then when you're ready, we will slowly rise up and coming down. So we're going to come down onto the back. You can have your bolster beside you. We're going to stay in that reclined butterfly. You can simply keep your feet together, knees wide apart. You can also, if you do have a bolster again or something to support your legs with, You can do this with again, with the soles of your feet together, knees wide apart. Pausing here for a few moments. You can rock your head from side to side. And come back to center. Breathing here. We'll stay for about 2 more breaths. Bring your legs out of this position. Just push the knees together and then hug your knees right in towards your chest. If it feels nice, you can rock from side to side on your back. And you can bring the legs back and forth away from your body, then back towards your chest. Move with your breath. Inhale away, exhale in. And this time exhale in and then widen apart with a circling motion. Bring their legs back together. We'll do that a few times, that motion. And this time reverse. So starting with your legs together, then widen your knees apart, roll in. And then we'll release. We're going to perhaps instead of the bolster now, if you do have a box, but if you have a bolster, you can also use it for the next one. We're going to do a bit of the supported bridge pose. So feet in towards your hips, pushing them down. And once you lift your hips up, you can slide a block underneath, resting there. See how that feels. Allowing your body to adjust slightly to this inversion. And if you have another block or some other support, again, you can push into your feet again, lift up through your hips and slide that underneath on top of the other block. Breathing here in this really nice supported bridge pose. Just letting your body soften and release. It's definitely more of a passive position. And then from here, let's bring one knee in towards the chest and then the other. See how that feels where the blocks are supporting your back. So it might feel better to slide the blocks down your back a bit more, bringing the feet off the floor. We're going to see how it feels to come into the version of Viparita Carini. It is the legs up the wall without the wall. Or supported shoulder stand. It's similar to that. Very restorative, therapeutic at the end of the day. We're letting all the stagnancy flow down the legs. And yeah, there's a nice reverse of blood flow back to the heart to be cleansed. And I find this a beautiful position to do at the end of the day. And also anytime I have a little bit of trouble sleeping sometimes in the middle of the night. And this is the pose I do. And I just do it right in bed. With my legs against the wall. If it works every time for me. So I highly recommend trying it. It might be a little awkward at first to do it in bed, but see if you can find a way. I just put my bottom where my Head would be with pillows, a pillow underneath, and legs against the head of the bed there. So in this position, when you're supported properly, it feels like very little effort to keep your legs up. And notice if you can start to feel that full body calming effect by being in this position. Of course, you can come out whenever you're ready. If you'd like, you can stay for a few more breaths. Okay, and when you're ready to come out, you can bend your knees in towards your chest, lower your feet. You can lower the feet one at a time. Return to supported bridge. Just coming right onto your shoulder blades again, flattening them. It's a wonderful position to help really align your upper back and neck to create more space there. When you're ready, you can take one block out. So just push down through your feet to lift up. If you've got another block underneath, just rest on that for a few breaths. And then you can remove the final block if you have one there. We're going to let the back sink down, bring the knees back in towards the chest. You can rock a bit from side to side. You might even come into one more pose. We can perhaps pick the happy baby pose. You're reaching for your feet or ankles. Knees stay bent and wide. Feet lift up towards the ceiling. Sometimes I'll make a variation here with one foot coming down a little bit, the other leg standing out. Trying the same on the other side. Stretching those legs a bit. You can hold on to where on the leg is comfortable. And then you can bring both legs out to the sides, opening here. Straightening the legs, let's push them back together and hug knees in towards the chest. And then we'll release the legs, we'll come into Shavasana for maybe a minute or two, just to help you get even more deeply relaxed and release before you hop into bed. And you could even do this in bed, of course. It's a good way to learn how to consciously relax yourself, to do the body scan from head to toe. Check in with all different areas. This also directs the focus and attention energy away from just the head, the thoughts, and moves your awareness, attention more fully through the body, which helps to, lessen the focus when it's solely just in the mind. You come into your whole body now to find a sense of peace and calm. Breathing here. Relaxing through your arms and your legs. Just let them go, sinking down comfortably heavy. Relax everywhere. Softening through your jaw. Anywhere in your body you might feel tension, just ask that part to release. Give it permission to let go. I'll stay here for just a couple more breaths. Noticing the breath come in and out like a wave, slowly rising and releasing. Keeping your focus on your breath. When you're ready to come out, now don't let me, if you're wanting to stay here longer, don't let me take you out prematurely. So if you want to continue your Shavasana practice or just hop right into bed, feel free. If you're coming out, wiggle your toes and your fingers. And then you could stretch through your arms. And take your time, but you can roll over whenever you're ready. It's good to continue to keep things as slow, calm, steady pace as we transition to sleep. Feel yourself here, perhaps feeling a bit more relaxed, peaceful. Ending our practice, a moment of gratitude, a reminder that there are always many things to be thankful for. So if you'd like, you can go ahead and be specific or just a general idea of gratitude. I am thankful for all the abundance in my life. And thank you so much for joining me tonight. Namaste. I hope you have a wonderful night, a wonderful sleep, and we'll see you again soon.